cheekyricho's pork stuffed mushroom cups. Hi and welcome to cheekyricho's mushroom caps stuffed with pork. This is a delicious oven-baked dish that could be served as any meal of the day. The ingredients will be in the recipe box below. So let's get started. First thing that we're going to do is remove the centre out of our mushrooms, being careful not to damage the cap itself. You just should pull out, and that's what you should have. Squeeze them and pull them gently to side until it releases. Don't yank it right out because you might pull the bottom out of the mushroom. Same thing. We're going to peel our onion, chop our bacon, mozzarella and our bread and our parsley, and peel and dice our garlic as well. So on to preparation of that. Turn our pan on. Spray it liberally with some olive oil spray will be fine. Now we've wiped over our mushroom cap, but we're not going to peel them, so we're going to sit them into the pan and they're going to brown on the bottom. If you can use a pan that's capable of being placed in the oven, all the better. So we just put those on like so, the lid on, and get on with our meat mixture. Okay, to a mixing bowl here we have added our meat. We are going to add our garlic, a bit of veggie salt. These are the stems from the mushroom that have been chopped finely. You don't need to waste those, they'll be fine. They'll add a bit of moisture and probably not much else to the meat, but it'll save wasting them. Bit of the onion, probably half of the onion. Half of the parsley that's been chopped, half. And all of the tomato passata. So that all goes in there like so. Now we're going to mush up our meat. Clean hands. Hands should be clean anyway if you're cooking. Really mush it up together. We're going to form this into 4 patties. So once we've well combined all of this, it's going to be fashioned into 4 very, very flat patties, and that's what we're going to stuff our mushrooms with. That's about half, so we're going to make that into 2, and this into 2 as well. There's a discrepancy in the size of them because we want them to cook evenly. Just sort that out. He's a bit bigger and he's a bit smaller, so we'll Peter to pay Paul. And same thing there. Really, really flat. For some reason when you cook patties, they tend to plump themselves up a bit. So the flatter you get them at this stage, the better off you will be. Okay, the bottoms of our mushrooms are quite brown. Much of the moisture has come out of the mushroom. It still obviously retains its flavour and its shape. Shake off that extra moisture out of there and just stand them to one side. Okay, so we're just going to pop our meat patties in there now. They're really quite soft, a bit difficult to pick them up. And we just want to brown those because they're going to continue to cook in the oven, but you can pop the lid on until they're ready to turn over. But they will need a couple of minutes on each side, about 3 or 4 minutes on each side. Okay, time to turn our patties over. A nice bit of colour on them. Turn the heat back a bit. And just be careful because there's the tomato sauce in the patties. They will burn if you're not careful because the tomato sauce has tomatoes have a higher sugar content. Now we get our mushrooms and we lay them out on a plate just while we prepare the rest of it. Just turn it off for the moment. Take a patty and put a patty on each mushroom. Just stand that to one side. Butter into our pan now. You can put the heat back on. And we're going to send our bacon and our onion in there and give it a swish around. A bit of pepper at this stage. And in with our breadcrumbs. Or our cubed bread. They're not breadcrumbs, they're little cubes. Just keep that all moving. You want that bread to absorb those flavours from the bottom of the pan. So turn that down a little. Just over a medium heat. Now that's looking pretty good. Grab those little brown pieces off the bottom of the pan. Okay, so most of the moisture has been rendered out of that with the heat. So now, let's turn that off for the moment. We tip that out onto the plate. Pop our mushrooms, complete with the patties, back into the pan, like so. This stage I'd be turning the grill of your oven on. Now we just put little mounds of our filling onto the patties, just like so. It doesn't really matter if they fall off. The heat's going to be coming from above now, so they shouldn't stick to the bottom of the pan. Just layer them all on like that. And then we just get our little strips of mozzarella, which aren't handling the heat very well, and just lay them on the top. Get that as even as you can. These guys are going to go under a hot grill now to get all bubbly and hot. The meat's cooked, the mushrooms are cooked, the filling's cooked. We just need to have some nice brown colour on there. Now if you wanted to, you could sprinkle some cayenne pepper or some paprika on there, but you probably won't need to. So under a hot grill we go. Okay, our pork stuffed mushroom caps are ready to serve. They're hot and bubbly from the oven. We're just going to lift them out carefully onto the plate, and we're serving these with some homemade coleslaw. So be very careful here because every section of this pan is actually hot at the moment. Okay, there you have it. Cheekyricho's pork stuffed mushroom cups. We're just going to put a little bit of cottage cheese with herbs in it. You could have it with chutney, whatever you wanted to. It's a light dressing. And then we just sprinkle some parsley over everything. And there you have it. Cut into this little fella, shall we? There you go. Oops, a little taste. Thanks for watching.